Hello and welcome to the Snitchuation Room. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're back with our unlicensed, unauthorized opinions about those of you who were willing to write into us about your quandaries.
Yep, let's get to it.
All right, we'll get right into it. Snitchuation number 1. This one's sad, okay? My grandmother died in March after an 8-month battle with cancer. I'm really sorry. My mom was her primary caregiver, and I helped as much as I could since I lived with them. My aunt stepped in towards the end, and my fiance was incredible. He even helped take my grandma to the bathroom when she needed it. She passed away surrounded by my mom, my aunt, me, my fiance, and my stepdad. The funeral was the following weekend, and my sister and a cousin flew in for it. The service itself was lovely and full of good memories. Afterward, most people went out to eat, but my mom didn't want to be around a crowd. So a smaller group of us went elsewhere. When we got home, my mom had made it clear she wanted quiet and space. Less than 2 hours later, multiple relatives showed up anyway, including cousins, a wife, toddlers, and an ex-wife with older kids. My mom immediately retreated to her bedroom. Then they brought out a birthday cake for the cousin who had flown in. What? Instead of celebrating elsewhere, they decided to have a birthday party at my mom's house on the day of her mother's funeral. They didn't leave until around 10 p.m. Yeah, this is diabolical. Later, that same cousin asked my mom to turn my grandmother's ashes into a ring for her.
Oh boy, I don't even want to get started on the story we have for you about that.
I know I'm venting, but this isn't the first issue I've had with this cousin, and the whole situation still makes me angry, as you should be. 2 questions. How do you set boundaries with family members who consistently ignore emotional cues and explicit requests? Number 2, is it worth risking long-term family tension to call out something that felt deeply disrespectful?
Okay, so let's review the notes a little bit. So how are these people who are doing the wrong related? They're cousins?
Cousin. Yeah, it seems like the cousin is the issue.
Yes.
Cousin came in, decided, you know what, funeral day, perfect day for my birthday. Let's have it at her house while she is grieving on the day of her mother's funeral. And also, you know what, I think a cousin, should have the ashes turned into a ring for me.
Yeah,
What?
Even a bit of the ashes seems odd for a
Even
cousin.
getting like a cut of it is
Yeah.
crazy. That goes like immediate family.
Well, I want to start off by just covering something that we've covered many times in our marriage, and that is how I want to be disposed of in my death.
This is important. Brandon wants to make it about him just real quick before we dive in. Apologies.
Because here's the issue. I don't want to be split up.
What do you mean split up?
Don't be putting me in little vials or anything.
In vials?
I'm just saying, don't split me up. Drop me in one spot.
Your ashes?
Yes.
Okay, well, once they're out and drop, the particles are gonna fly around.
But I don't want to make it hard.
Hard? What do you mean make it hard?
Well, what if God needs to put them back together again for me to ascend to my heavenly home?
I love that you believe in the power of ascension, but you think it's going to be a little too difficult if you're spread out.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to keep myself all in one place, so don't split me up.
That's
don't be giving
crazy.
Don't give some to my brothers, some to my mom. I want to be in one spot. If you're going to not bury me under the ground, which is my wish.
You told me you wanted to be cremated the other day.
Well, it's only because I think that you want me to be cremated. But if I had my choice, I'd probably go under the ground.
What? Okay. All right. You want to be buried? Of course you would.
Yes, I do want to be buried. But I'm trying to think through what's the best course of action here. Because first of all
that to say, Brandon wants to be buried. We'll cut back to you now.
Going back to your quandary.
Sure. Setting boundaries with family members, and is it worth risking a long-term family tension to call out something that felt deeply disrespectful?
I would say we probably land on different sides of this. I think I lean more towards protecting the relationships as opposed to saying something. But in this particular instance, this is to a level of unhinged madness.
This is so disrespectful.
That has to be. I don't believe you'll be able to have a relationship with this person if this is not addressed on your end. It's less about them and more about you. How could you go and be around these people? How could you go and spend time with them knowing that on the day of your grandmother's death, one of the hardest days in your mother's life, they have taken over the home,
Mhm.
made it about them somehow,
Mhm.
created this, like, wanted to have their party like it was a normal birthday. Like, I'm
Mm.
sorry, I don't care what's going on. Like,
Birthday
especially
party on a funeral is really
and I
bonkers.
assume if this person can buy their own cake and get to your house, this isn't like a young cousin. This is an adult person who did this.
Even if it's a young cousin, even if I was in high school, I wouldn't have done that.
He should have stopped it, is what I
Yeah, for sure. That is, first of all, let us say that your feelings are valid. I would be in jail. I would be in jail.
The fact that
'Cause
no
I
one
would have
said something,
slapped her ass back.
the,
Get
the,
the hell out of my mom's house.
the fact that no one involved said anything
Yeah.
to begin with.
I would be like, hey, everybody who's here, it's time to leave. Depart.
Like, the fact that
I would be Meredith Marks. You can leave.
like, that's not your mom's job. She's in grieving.
She's
It's really
tired.
not your problem either. You're living there.
Mm-hmm.
You were living with the grandmother. You're in deep distress.
Well, I have been shocked into paralysis before by
That's what I
people's
mean.
behavior.
It's not on them.
Yeah.
It's not on them. There should be someone in the family stepping up, being like, "This is totally inappropriate.
This is
Hey,
insane.
if you guys want to go to a bar after we're done grieving tonight, and y'all want to stay out all night and party and have fun, great.
Which y'all just
Bring that to
odd.
grandma's house on the day of her funeral."
Yeah, that's crazy. But how do you set a boundary with someone who ignores explicit requests?
I think in this particular instance, which is different from like maybe like a little bit of a habitual line stepper, I think this is a all out assault here, and it has to be dealt with in that way. I think you have to go to them and just put it plainly on the table. Like, your behavior at this event made me question whether I want a relationship with you in the
Yeah.
future. Like, because it was so unhinged and so out of pocket, like, I need you to explain to me why you thought this was a good idea.
Yes. Help me understand where your brain broke
Yeah.
and thought I was going to give you her ashes in a ring.
And that's not usually my approach. I'm usually far more forgiving. But what I will tell you, and what I hope you can hear, is that this is so unhinged, this behavior.
Yeah.
Like, don't think that I think like one in the original post when I read it, it said something like, "Am I crazy?"
No.
And I'm like, no, that you are not in the wrong in thinking anything. You
No.
honestly wouldn't be in the wrong to be like, you know what? I don't know that I really want to relationship.
I'd probably slice this one right out.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Like, long-term family tension, that's going to be there anyway, baby. Like, this is going to cause that. They're going to continue to do this, and therein lies the tension. And our families are quite different. My family, if there's tension, we scream at each other until it's over. Your family, if there's tension, you're like, no, there's not. And y'all all dance around
What
it.
do you mean?
Pray tell. Yeah. And so we approach things really differently.
And neither one of those is necessarily wrong.
But neither one's right.
Up to a level.
Yeah. But I can say with confidence, if you don't say anything, the tension will continue. So you might as well say something and blow it up, because this person is going to trample over your explicit requests and emotional cues. Who are they? Like, she doesn't know, or he doesn't know. I don't know the gender of this particular cousin, but that is, you are not crazy. That's crazy. They're crazy. And I would have a really intense conversation that would be like, A, you're not getting a ring. Insane that you even thought that was a possibility. Please go bury that thought somewhere else. Secondly, you will literally not be invited into this home ever again if you do not change the following behaviors. And then I would lay out, like, this is what you did. We felt deeply disrespected. Here's why. You can either explain to me what was happening in your brain, or we can just settle on the fact that this won't happen again.
Well, I would also just recommend distance.
Yeah.
A period of time. I think if you want relationship with them, you got to get some distance and get back to where you actually want to be around this person.
Yeah.
And then I do believe, though, that you need to, especially if they...
Well, this happened in March.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe you've had the distance, and if this is still lingering...
Because they're going into Christmas.
Then you absolutely have to address it.
Yep.
Now, is Christmas Day or Christmas Eve the best time to do it?
Maybe. If you're looking for a little chaos.
Yeah, it depends on if you want to add a little chaos to your...
Depends on if you're Brandon or Rachel. Me?
Family meal.
I would be like, listen, bitch, let me tell you what you did in March that really upset me. And you would be like, hey, good to see
I would probably just avoid them a little bit, honestly.
Brandon, please. You would be so nice and pretend like nothing was wrong.
I would try to.
Okay.
But I would address it. All
right. Well, either way, address it because this person does not deserve your time and energy from that diabolical,
unhinged behavior.
Not okay. You deserve better. Okay? Take that for what you will. You ready for number 2?
Well, I was wondering if you wanted to talk about the bear that we haven't.
Oh my God.
Because that kind of is a related story.
Okay. So my dad died, 15 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah. And when he passed, he was married to an insane person.
Yes.
Just some examples of how she went berserk around his funeral. It was a sudden and traumatic death for all of us,
to say the least.
And we were at the receiving of friends for the funeral. They opened his casket. I had flown in from California and my brother was there. We hadn't seen him. We were the last ones to know. And because his wife at the time was the one with all the information. And we go in to see him. And she's like, no, I need time. And she jumps in the casket with them. Okay. And my brother and I are like, okay, well, we can't get in there because she has gone into the casket with a corpse. And we would love to see our father, but apparently that's not allowed because this person that he's known for 4 years really needs some extra time with them. And then after all of that, I remember when we left everything, a lot of stuff happened at that funeral, which I won't get into here because I feel like she's litigious. Well, we were flying back home. I remember you being like, will you ever speak to her again? And I was like, the only silver lining I have in this is that I never have to speak to that woman again. And so she contacts, I guess you or me, I can't remember, and is like, I've sent you your father's ashes. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm glad I got some because my brother and I didn't get anything. I got his Bible was what she sent me.
Which is exactly what you wanted. If you could have named what you wanted from your father, you'd be like, you know what? Grab his Bible off the door.
I'd love just a giant Bible with 2 baby pictures of me in it with my dad. Thank you so much. My brother got a t-shirt, so I guess it was better than that.
It was better.
And then we look on her Facebook and she's just selling all of his stuff on Facebook. And we're like, hey, we would like some stuff. And she's like, well, I already sent you that Bible and that t-shirt.
What more do you want?
And we're like, well, don't sell all of his stuff to strangers. I digress. Anyway, so she's like, I sent you this, his ashes. And I open it and it is a teddy bear. An actual teddy bear. And I was like, what an interesting choice. We have a dog. And so I just lived in terror.
Oh, and not just a dog that would
loved shredding toys. And I was like, okay, we can't leave dad out because the dog's going to eat dad. And then I'm going to have to vacuum it up.
Oh, and it's got the smell of charred human.
Yeah. I'm like, he's just going to eat his charred bones and that's not going to be good for him. And so anyway, long story short, my dad lives in a closet and he's lived in there for quite a while.
Yeah. And sometimes
he haunts us and flings that door open.
I'm serious. When we moved into this house, we would just be in the middle of the night.
Just flinging that door open.
Would just be like,
and we were like, okay, Dad, could you please relax? We know you love a joke.
Very, very freakish.
This is also super weird. Every year around his birthday, he haunts Charlotte, our neighbor upstairs. Something happened last year. I can't remember, but she gets the feeling he wants her to make him a cake.
We'll make it.
She did.
Okay.
Or she made cookies or something. But it's always right because she was like, when's your dad's birthday? And I told her and she was like, yeah, I think he's haunting me again. And I was like, he did love sweets. Love sweet treats. So anyway, that happened. And then because she was selling all that stuff and begging for money on Facebook from all these people, I unfriended her because I just couldn't bear to see it constantly. And she went on my dead dad's Facebook and unfriended me.
And the rage, anger, sadness that this brought on literally took me to my knees. And I ended up having to contact this woman and beg her to refriend this man's daughter on Facebook from his memorial account.
Well, because it's the only pictures that I had of him.
Yes.
To this day. And I was like, I just want to be able to look at his pictures. I think it's nuts that you're trying to lock me out of that.
I'm really glad that I didn't allow you to speak to her.
Oh, I would.
We knew that I had to, if we were ever going to get access, that it had to be me.
It was never going to be able to be me. No. No,
But we got access back.
I was ready for blood. I was so mad. So anyway, I understand relatives act weird at funerals and weddings. They bring out the worst of us. I always tell my friends when they get engaged, my friends who have been, recently lost parents or been at funerals and stuff grieving, I'm like, listen, weird stuff happens that you wouldn't expect, and your family acts in ways that you would wish didn't happen, but here we are. Okay, I'm ready to move on.
Okay, great.
All right, situation numero dos. Don't mind me, I just know a little Spanish. All right, hey snitches. Longtime listener, first time caller, said once like it's 1999 and I'm alone in my bedroom with a radio and unresolved family trauma. Okay, this is still pretty raw. I'm writing about my older brother. This has been going on for years, so it's a pattern, not a phase. We were close growing up, holidays, birthdays, vacations, the kind of family that actually enjoyed being together. Now he has 3 kids, which somehow makes this much worse. About 3 years ago, he and his wife completely opted out of our family. Parents, siblings, extended family, everyone. He blocked our numbers. He blocked us on socials. They still post on Facebook, and I know this because I have a burner account, which I tell myself is for information and not simply surveillance. What I see there is smiling kids, Bible verses, vacation photos. If you didn't know them, or if I didn't know any better, you'd think the rest of us just quietly disappeared. My parents are saints. They are Midwestern and aggressively kind people. So for the last 8 months, they didn't tell us that they also had been cut off because they didn't want to cause drama. They thought staying quiet would protect all of our relationships. It didn't. I found out when I texted my brother and got back, stop contacting me. I know exactly what you're doing. Damn. Which is fascinating because I didn't know what I was doing. That's when everything came out about his parents.
Yeah.
Okay. I've saved every text and email I've ever sent him. Smart. This is what we always say. Keep a record.
Yeah.
Email me.
A record.
Not to threaten, just to have a record. Silence doesn't always make you the bigger person. Sometimes it just makes you the only one without documentation. When I asked why he cut us off, he said it was none of my business and he had a disagreement with our parents. So he had a disagreement with the parents and then cut everybody off. My parents are still waiting to hear what that disagreement was. That's so weird. Okay. They've always been Baptists, but about a year before the cutoff day, my brother and his wife joined a new church and things escalated. It's very fundamentalist adjacent. Lots of gender role focus, isolation, cutting off quote unquote bad influences, which apparently includes grandparents, i.e. my parents. His wife has always been a presence. Everyone walks on eggshells around her. Now it feels like she runs everything, and my brother is middle management as opposed to head of the household, which is ironic. For context, I'm a gay man married to another man for over 10 years. My family is incredibly supportive, so this isn't about that. But I do wonder if this church teaches that cutting off family is holy, or if we were labeled spiritual contaminants. Oh, shit, that's probably what it was. Okay. We've had serious health scares in the family since this started, one especially bad. A relative passed the news along, and my brother replied, "Thanks for letting me know," but he didn't call or try to follow up with any of us. So here's where I need advice. I don't think this is about my parents. I don't think it's about money. I think it's about religion, control, and isolation. Part of me feels like when his kids are grown, they deserve to know why their entire family disappeared. And I have proof, it reminds me of Heather, proof, documented, whatever, timeline. I have receipts, timeline. I have years of silence documented. But I also know that sharing that truth could cause real harm or turn me into a villain. So my question is this. Do I try one last time to reach out and risk escalating something I don't understand? Or do I accept that this isn't a misunderstanding and let it go, even if that means one day it's keeping truth from his kids? I don't know which choice is loving and which one just makes me feel powerless.
I mean, the thing is that if this was just because the first thing when I hear this, I think something happened with the parents, something weird, something with the kids, something that made them feel unsafe or something like that. But when they cut everyone off, it's not about that.
It's giving cult.
It's giving cult. It's giving they're not real Christians. They're not real believers. They're not true believers. We can't surround ourselves with that kind of thing. Our church, our cult, our group of people is now our family, our chosen family.
Yep.
it's a very dangerous thing that you see in a lot of those kind of like closed environments. And some are more closed than others, but that
Yeah.
one's but this sounds exactly what I think is happening. And I think the wife is at the head of it.
Mhm.
And I think the brother has no control
Yeah.
over the situation. And I think it may be for him, unfortunately, and really sad, like a go along to get along in this like relationship and in this like church that they found themselves in. But the idea, like, if they don't know what the disagreement is,
The parents
that's
don't.
what blows my mind.
Well,
That hasn't been addressed at all.
well, I think what he's saying is that it sounds like because his parents are not this fundamentalist focused, Christians, and he and his husband are obviously gay, that they seem to be, even though they all go to church, they all whatever.
Way that they can be true believers because of their
Right.
lifestyle or the way that they believe or don't believe or whatever.
So it's giving cult, you are not meeting my rigid guidelines, because if his parents don't even know what happened and they're just cut off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand this. I don't understand this line of thinking. I don't understand why they would do this. I don't understand how your brother would be
Willing.
find himself captive in this weird situation, but
People do.
it doesn't matter because the result is the same.
Right.
And ultimately, I think your parents, more so than anybody in this situation, have the right, the desire, and probably the responsibility to at some point reach out to the children and say, your family did not abandon you.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's your
Now.
place or appropriate now.
Right.
And I think honestly, though, like your role in it, if it was me and I was the brother in the situation, I would probably reach out to my parents and say, I think that eventually y'all are going to have to be the ones that reach out. And I know I would assume that they've tried things like trying to stop by and trying to like force a conversation that have not gone well. But that's what I would do. I would do all of my conversating and all of my work in helping the grandparents be the drivers of whatever happens.
Yeah, it's so weird that they got blocked. I would focus on that. I would focus on my parents and really trying to get to the bottom. Even if there's no like something happened, it's more of they're in a cult and everybody's getting pushed out. I would try to talk to my parents. I would research that church.
Yeah, I definitely researched the church. I would also talk to my parents and say, if you are going to reach out to them, maybe concentrate on we just want to know what we did. We're not even asking to come back in.
Yeah.
We just have no idea what we have done.
We want to make it right. You can move forward however you like, but we want to make sure that there's not like a wound there and that we can at least mend that and move forward.
We all need closure, even if it ends up the exact same.
Right.
I feel like it would be good for everyone
Yeah.
to have closure about what happens.
Yeah. I would lean on that. I would lean on the parents, and you can keep that documentation for as long as you need to. Inevitably, there will come a time where the kids will wonder, what happened. And even for me as an adult, like after my dad passed, I didn't really speak to that side of my family for a while. Not for anything nefarious, just I lived in a different area and a bunch of them moved away. But I had a great aunt who reached out to me. I was like, hey, there are some things that I think you should know. And so next time you visit, I want you to drop by. And I did. And she told me, and I was like, okay. And I'm glad that she did. And she was able to like give me some of my great grandma's belongings and stuff like that. So that kind of stuff happens with time. But this sucks and I'm really sorry. But I would want to know what's going on at that church.
I'll be honest, like my brain, I would be forcing confrontation, like if my brother just all of a sudden tomorrow like cut me off,
I'd be devastated.
Yeah, like I would feel exactly the same way you do. Like I feel powerless. I don't know what to do, especially if they won't communicate with me. And obviously like all family dynamics and settling stuff is all different, but like I totally hear where you're coming from. And I think that I think you should talk more to your parents about like, how do they want to handle it? And like even forcing some sort of intervention, like truly, like what do you have to lose at this point?
I don't even know. I was trying to see. Thanks for letting me know. What did he say? Stop contacting me. I know what you're doing. I don't know.
Just think about like, I just got done listening to that after Nexium Allison thing. When they're in it, there's nothing.
There's nothing you can do.
I mean, her mother for years and years and years reached out to her, and she literally told her like, "Get away from me."
Yeah.
You know. So like, it took until that person ran up against something in the group.
Yeah.
And became part of the out group.
Yeah. In group, out group, and cults, once they hit the out group, then they'll come back. The only thing that I can say is if you send like a final, like a closure text, I would just say like, I love you. I'm here for you. I want to talk to you always. I understand that you're setting a boundary. I just want you to know I love you. And I would just, if you can, just text at holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Easter. Try to keep like something going so that they know that you're thinking about them.
Well, you always want to provide, and this is kind of how I try to approach a lot of things, is to remain the soft place to land.
Yeah.
If they need to come with their hat in hand, accept the apology. Yeah. Let them come with their hat in hand.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously you can talk about it. You can hold certain things responsible, but like always be the person who's reaching out and saying, hey, I know you may not want to hear from me, but I love you. I care about you. And this Christmas, I'm thinking.
You can keep it short. Thinking about you. Love you. Merry Christmas.
But that makes a difference when they come out on the other side. I mean, based on, solely the information I have about the cult stuff that I watch on TV.
We have watched a lot of cult documentaries, and that's what they always say, that the parents that attempted over and over and over after rejection, after rejection, after rejection are the ones that they go back to.
Yeah. I think Ken Burns' next documentary needs to be about cult.
Oh, it should be. Honestly, you should watch the Nexium documentary and what those families experience when they come out, and like maybe even have your parents watch it. I don't remember if it's like too spicy for like a Midwestern.
No, I think they would think it was.
But like it actually might bring some clarity to what's going on. If that is indeed what's happening. This is just our all projection.
Yes.
So because there's maybe truly nothing you can do other than be loving and try to reach out as often as you can. And you can hold on to all of that. So later on, if kids come around asking, you got it.
Yeah. Good.
But for now, this is all you can do.
All right.
All right. Snitchuation number 3. All right. This is from a youngin'. So there's a young woman listening to this somehow, some way. Shocking.
Thank God.
2 olds out here giving information to the youngs. All right. This past year, I started my first big girl corporate job. Relations. And for the first 6 months, I felt pretty meh about it because I couldn't believe how boring every day was. Do you remember your first job? How miserable it was?
Well, yeah, it's like you go from like going home after school and just like watching TV to like having to sit in an office or somewhere for like hours on end. You're not used to it.
Well, you also go from like at school, every hour you're changing a class, like you're with your friends, everyone's your age, same in college. And then you get to a corporate job and you're the youngest person there and you're doing the same thing for 8 hours. You're like, oh, okay, I want to gouge my eyes out. So that just cracks me up. I remember at my first corporate job, I would get up and pretend I was taking like a cigarette break and just walk around the building because I was like, I just want sun on my face.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh, I don't even get a summer off. Oh my God. Like I was so devastated that I had to be there.
Little did you know, you had to work forever now.
No. I remember being like, this is what I was waiting on doing. It was really horrible. Okay. I felt pretty mad about, okay, all that changed. Okay, so this has changed when they hired the most attractive man I've ever seen in my life. He works in a different department than I do, thank God, but I am quite literally unable to be normal around him. My mouth gets a lot of spit in it, and I smile like I'm in that horror movie, Smile. My hands are clammy.
Well, people have to know what you're saying.
Okay. That movie is so scary, though, when they did those examples and everyone was at that baseball game going, that was so horrifying. So anyway, okay. We were in the break room getting coffee and I was trying to focus on not dropping and shattering my mug because of the aforementioned clammy hands. And he said hi to me and I said, good day in a British accent and speed walked away. I am not British. I'm worried I now have to do, or I have to talk with a British accent in front of him or act like it's a fun bit that I do that everyone knows about. How do you say good day in a British accent?
Well, I think they're mistaking.
Good day.
That's
It's Australian. Like, good day, mate.
So now you've really messed up.
You're doing Australian. Okay, it's fine. And add mate, because just good day is not right. All right. Last week, just before I took my Christmas PTO, I found out we were working on a project together between our departments, and I almost passed out. You'd think I'd be thrilled to get to know him, but I'm not. I'm sure if I could talk to him, I'd find a way to get the ick and move on. That's real. But I can't seem to form sentences. I've been down bad before, but this is different because it's making me physically weird and maybe giving me a psychotic break. Okay. How do I handle being on this project with him? What if I do something really weird? What can I do to preemptively give myself the ick so I can be in the same room with him? This is a great one.
Well, it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, honestly,
You've never been a girl in your early 20s, and it shows.
From what you told me, you can get the ick from any man almost immediately.
Oh my God,
and
so
I'm
true.
like, I'm minding my P's and Q's.
She just needs to live a little longer, and then anything they do will give you the ick. Look through his Instagram, see if there are a bunch of men talking heads.
Yeah.
Ick.
Be like, can I see your For You page? That'll
Yeah.
probably do it for you.
If you're trying to learn things, I want you to move on. I think I don't know, I can like look at a guy and just tell things like your breath probably stinks. Or I don't know, he seems like he like.
So we have no desire. Do we have a desire to be with this man, or do we think that's completely off the table?
I think she's just trying to give herself an ick enough to be able to not be completely insane.
Well,
have you ever had a crush this bad?
Of course. I would say ask some questions. That'll probably do it. Be like, what's the last book you read?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ask what podcasts do you listen to?
Top podcasts. Who'd you vote for?
Yeah, of these.
What's the last book you read?
Yeah, all of these could turn you.
They could get you in a hot second. Yeah. Ask some real divisive questions.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good idea, and just see what he does. Let him squirm. Let his hands get clammy. I think that will help. But I don't know that I've ever been like this sick.
So like the down bad thing, like I don't know. Not at first. Not without like having some sort of connection to the person.
I've always been like so much more attracted to personality. Like if I tracked the few people that I dated, none of them look the same, but it's because I'm attracted to personality.
Yeah, like you don't think you've ever been like weak in the knees for someone like physically.
Okay, actually, the guy that I dated before you, I remember going to watch him play basketball and stuff, and I was like, he's so hot. He's never going to talk to me. And then he did talk to me, and I was like,
And that was enough.
Okay. We talked. Here's the thing that got me, and I hope this works for you, was that I would say things like, do you want to do this? And you'd go, cool. Why are we saying cool so much? That's too much. Cool once. Okay.
Also was probably going to want to take you on the mission field with him.
Which was not going to work for me.
A missionary personal trainer or something.
Please, could you imagine me?
In the jungles of like Ecuador.
Like, are we not staying in a resort?
Yeah, literally.
What? No. And so maybe you just need to hear him talk. He could have like a weird sounding voice. You've only heard him say hello or hi. Maybe he's really bad at his job and that'll gross you out. Maybe he sits weird, you know?
Yeah, what does he eat?
Ooh, yeah, maybe his breath stinks. Maybe he'll get something in his teeth. There's all kinds of things that can happen. He could dress weird.
I mean, he probably looks fine if she's attracted.
If super attracted to him.
You need to see him outside of the office when he's just like rolling around the city in sweats.
He's got to do something weird. I have to tell you, one time I worked with this person who seemed super normal and cute. And like a lot of the guys were super into her. And then we all went to the subway, like afterwards, or like to the train. And we realized that she was a person who outside sang out loud with her headphones.
Like almost dancing.
La 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 la.
Like Ella, like with no knowledge or no understanding that anybody else would be in the car with her.
There was no car.
That's what I'm saying, in the subway car.
Oh yeah. Like walk even on the sidewalk. Because we saw her, she was not in the train. She was on her way. She was on the sidewalks of New York City, singing at the top of her lungs without being aware that, like, hello, sound pollution. We don't need to, they're in your ear. Why are you even going to wear headphones if you're just out here singing? Are you busking? We didn't ask for this. And so, yeah. So you just never know what your coworkers do.
That's true.
Remember when I thought one of your coworkers was a vagrant and he was asking me for money?
Well, this person wore blue jeans. This person was wearing blue jean shorts. Some
jorts. And this was like 2016. This was before jorts was having a resurgence.
They were tucked into blue jean shorts and they were wearing those like sandals, leather sandals with all the
I call them
straps.
Jesus sandals.
Yeah, thousands of straps.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could kind of understand why you might have thought
he was also like
unhoused.
Well, he like hollered at me and like tried to grab my arm, and I was like, so sorry, no, which is a great thing to say to a man who's trying to hit on you. Sorry, I don't have any money.
Trying to meet you. That's what he was trying to do. He wasn't trying to hit on you. He was trying to say hello.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't have any cash.
Lord. Well.
And he was offended, but I was like, maybe don't grab a woman on the street.
Yeah.
And that's a rule he learned that day.
Yeah, he did. Or at least not to grab you.
That he knew. I think he and your other boss tried to say something to me like, was I worried about going to hell? And I was like, I guess I'd be worried if I thought it existed.
Yeah, you got him.
Yeah, they were rendered mute.
That's right.
And I was like, maybe y'all just don't need to try to come for my neck because it ain't gonna work.
It's never gonna work for them.
No. All right, so anyway, you need to see him outside of it. You need to get as much intel as you can and try to find out something gross. Don't go to his, I know you probably already have. Don't go to his Instagram and try to find a gross picture. You won't. We all post our best pictures to Instagram, so don't do that. But Google him, because sometimes, and I know this from experience, things you don't want on Google, like weird pictures of you with bangs that you didn't like from 10 years ago, will be there. So you could do a little Googling.
Yeah, go back and find some old tweets.
Yeah, you are now the FBI.
Yeah.
And so you need to do a little research and figure out what's going on there. And then when you're working on the project together, just ask some questions. Again, ask about books, music. He's going to say something dumb.
There's no doubt about that.
Inevitably. And you got to take those blinders right off. You're going to have them on and think like, oh my God, I like that too. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You don't like it.
No, you don't.
Get out.
Allow yourself the ick. Okay? Allow yourself the ick. I'm trying to think of like a trick to get the ick. I get it so easily. I don't know.
Yeah, just be a man in the room.
Talking.
Yeah.
Really, that's it for me.
Just let him interrupt you a couple of times.
Okay. Here's the thing. I have a lot of good guy friends, which I feel like people would not assume about me. But they're funny, they're nice, they're successful, and they have amazing wives. Every single one of them.
I will say, before we moved here, traditionally, you did not have male friends.
That is correct. They did not appreciate me outside. I'm an acquired taste, and outside of New York City, they don't have that taste. No. They don't like it.
No.
So I reside here.
Special cuisine.
I am. So when people joke like, oh, it's New York or nowhere. No, that's real for me.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the
You were not thriving elsewhere. You were not thriving elsewhere.
No. But yeah, especially like when we go down south and like visit family and stuff, when I'm anywhere and someone is a man in a room and just starts yapping at me and I am held hostage by his words, I'm like, I am about to slit my wrist right here in front of everybody. I don't like it. So hopefully you can find that for yourself.
Well, it's December 29th. We're headed into the new year. We've got lots of plans for you coming up in the new year with Pop Snitch, with Snitchuation Room. We really need more content. So please go to popsnitch.com, fill out the Snitchuation Room form with anything you want to snitch on. And, drop us a comment, like and follow and subscribe. Please help us out. And in the new year, we'll have much more for you here at the Snitch.
Also, feel free to leave 5-star reviews. Like, nothing's stopping you.
Everywhere.
Maybe like
Spotify.
A delicious comment. Something about us being hilarious, talented, interesting, amazing, and giving advice. Any of those things will work. In fact, if you need help, feel free to leave us a little DM and Instagram and be like, could you craft our 5-star review? And I'll be like, absolutely. I can be your chat GPT. All right, but seriously, we love you guys. We'll see you in the new year. Bye.
I run the space, I run the scene.